Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pursuing Excellence podcast. I'm your host, Jan Gay, here today with some more great content. I'm here with Christopher Howard, friend of mine, coworker of mine. He's a personal trainer, also a motivational speaker. Does a lot of things, man. Guy with a great energy. And so we're having him on the podcast today as a guest. Chris, thank you for joining us today.
Hey, no problem, Aaron. Thank you for having me. I appreciate the blessing and seeing that I could bring some energy to your channel. So I'm willing to do my best as I always do.
Yes, sir. That's always the case for you, man. So, Chris, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Just so the audience can get to know who you are, man. Just tell us a little about yourself.
Well, just a little bit about myself. I'm originally from Queens, New York, Far Rockaway, born and raised there. I have a background in sports and I have a degree in business. Where I got to personal training is it kind of personally chose me in life because I got to a point in life where I was really low, but I started working out. And as I started working out, it started growing for me tremendously. People wanted me to help them because they seen that I could motivate them, inspire them, and also educate them at the same time. So I didn't take it seriously till about like a year ago, honestly speaking. So me and my wife, we made a decision to move down to Georgia to give our daughter a better life, which we just had this past year. Um, so it just making great changes within myself and to surround my world. So it just pretty much overall just want to do better for myself, better for my wife, better for my daughter. And it all started with me. So once I started making those changes in the right areas within myself, my life started to change tremendously.
Yeah, absolutely, man. A big thing right now is just being able to have a plan in life, man, and just attack it, every day. It's getting up with the mindset that I'm going to attack this day. I'm going to get better, right? And I talked a little bit about my last podcast about how we have to do a better job of just knowing our self-worth, man, and it's important to know that you have to value yourself before anybody else can value you. It's just knowing that you have been given specific talents and abilities by the Lord, and you have to be able to use them to the best of your ability, man. So just talk about, man, for you, how important is it to have the right mindset and attitude going into each and every day, man? Just to have a positive attitude. Tell us how long of a mile that can go for someone.
Well, going into mindset alone, I think a lot of people get confused on just having a mindset, repeating certain affirmations over, but they're doing it with an old conception. They're doing it with their old set of limitations within themselves. So they trying to like promote this new life for them, but they're still saying the same old energy that they once had. In order to sustain a new mindset, you have to go into a greater being within yourself. You have to start creating within yourself who you desire to be. See, I desired greatness. That was my greatest desire. It wasn't money, wasn't fame, it wasn't anything. It was designed to be great. So what greatness meant to me, nobody else. Doesn't matter what my mom thought, my wife thought, my best friend thought. What did it mean to me? I had to make it personal. So by doing so, I had to go within myself and make some changes. I couldn't go, I couldn't bring greatness with limitations of like, well, what if I fail here? Well, what if I do this wrong? See, I'm already shortcoming myself before I even get started within my journey. So what I started doing is I started attacking different areas of my mind and start not just speaking affirmations out, but literally feeling the affirmations. When I
Right.
started feeling the affirmations, that's when things started changing. That's when I started seeing things on the outside of me start to reflect how I was feeling about myself. I was speaking positively, but I wasn't being it within myself. So once I realized I started being it, that's when things started really taking to effect.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And it's a matter of just execution, man. Execution. It's one thing to say this or that, but are you actually going to live that? Or actually going to tell yourself that I'm going to act out what I'm saying and have the mindset that, you know, if you don't do it, if you're not, then if you're not acting out what you're speaking on, then how do you expect other people to do that as well? So it's just a matter of just finding that within yourself, like you said. So I really like that tidbit right there, what you said, man. So another thing that I feel like is a part of that is confidence as well. You have to have confidence in yourself. Confidence is very important, and it can really make or break you, because at the end of the day, if you don't believe that you can do something, nobody else will, you
Right.
know, and it's just
Totally agree.
right. And it's just having that, having the perspective that, like, being positive, like, okay, having confidence that you can do this, wherever it might be. I can, I can go get this dream job, or I can take care, I can handle this or that, whatever it might be. It's just having the confidence, man. So, talk about how important that confidence is within, having a great shift in life, man. Just having that mind, having to be able to take out your course of action in life, being confident in yourself. How is that so important, man, to you?
To me, confidence is the ultimate thing. Now, when I go into a situation, am I confident to know the work 100%? Absolutely not. But I'm confident in my energy. I always tell everybody, if I'm going to bring one thing into anything new, I'm going to bring my energy. Why?
Right.
Because that's something that's untangible. That's something you can just bring. I don't have to bring all the knowledge in the world. I don't have to bring all the aspects of knowing every detail of a job, a business, or a career. But if I bring my energy and I'm giving everything I've gotten, I'm already lead myself with success. So that allows me to build confidence in what I'm able to learn. A lot of people get into situations and they want to be confident, but they're already thinking about, well, I don't know this very well. Well, of course not. You're in a new situation. Same thing I get with when I'm training people. People get into a situation when they want to start training, but they're like, well, I don't know how to work out. Well, that's why I'm here. I'm help you to build your confidence, help you to show you how to work out, how to properly do these things. You already made the decision to come here. So let's make it count. So what my thing is, confidence is not always knowing everything, but knowing what your best asset is and use that in a situation where you want to grow and you want to develop. So if you're able to do that, whether that's taking great notes, whether that's bringing high energy, whether that's being detailed, bring that attribute first because that's your strongest suit. And that way you can build around it. Now your confidence is going to begin to grow in other areas. A lot of people attack new positions at their weakest point. So they actually they don't build it. They actually get discouraged
Yeah.
because they're going at their weakest point instead of saying, hey, listen, this is what I'm bringing. This is me. And we're going to go forward from here.
Yeah, and that's a big thing with it, man. It's just knowing what you can do and how to do it to the best of your ability, man. Like I said before, we're all different, man. We're all unique in our own ways. All got our own special abilities, our own special talents. What makes us us. We got the things. I have the things that make me Jaden, and you have the things that make you Chris, right?
Right.
So that's the matter of, and I think the big problem that we have right now in society, man, is just that everybody just feels like they have to conform, and they're just not confident in what they have in themselves. They're just trying to they feel pressured with society and the culture, man, and that's a big problem right now, and it's really hurting the youth and just everybody in general. But it's just the direction we're heading in, man. It's really bad, and I feel like we have to do a better job of knowing what we can do, how important the talents are that we have, and use them to for the greater good of the world, man. So it's just a matter of knowing your own self-worth, knowing how important you are, not trying to succumb to what everybody else is doing, man. And James 1:19-20 says, know this, my beloved brothers, let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger, So, and for the anger of man does not produce the righteousness of God. You got to have
Right.
that positive mindset, man. You got to go in and you have to spread joy. Because energy, like you said, man, it can lift up. It can lift people up. You don't know what people are going through, So just being in positive, just a smile, man, can make somebody's day, And so it's just a matter of just the attitude that you look at life through, man. Perspective is important, man. You have to change your perspective, man, because if you go in life with a negative perspective, negative things will be drawn to you, man. So speak on that, man, and how perspective is so magnifying right now in today's world.
Well, let me start with perspective, right? The first perspective is your own. How you view yourself, how you see yourself. Because the person you talk to the most with is yourself. It's your inner self. So if you're saying negative things about yourself and you're not uplifting yourself, then guess what? The world is not going to uplift you either. And even if someone comes around to uplift you, you're not going to have a confidence in the faith and believe that they're uplifting. You may, well, no, that's not really me. That's not how I am. You're already shutting yourself down before anyone else can. So no one on the outside can actually do it and sustain it. You have to be the first person to uplift yourself, empower yourself, encourage yourself, believe in yourself, love yourself. I always lead with love. Love is the most powerful energy. See, people think being loved is like being some soft thing. Like love is the first energy of life. Like when a baby comes into the world, they know love. They don't know anything else.
Right. Yeah.
So if we lead with love within ourselves, we can build our world around that. As you know, when we work in the gym, you see I have a lot of energy, right? I
Yes.
lead everything with love. I don't leave any workout without love. So my clients can feel that. They can feel my energy is at its highest point it can possibly be. So it automatically raises their level of energy no matter what they're going through. I have clients who have bad days, but when they get around me, they have to level up because I'm at the highest level. I will not move down to comfort them. I force them to level up their energy to where I'm at. So that's how we're able to have a great workout because that's how I feel about me. So they have to reflect and mirror my energy. They have
Right.
to. They have no choice. So the first thing you want to do is gain great perspective on who you are and where you're going. My thing is I try to tell people, stop confessing I will be. That's man's greatest downfall. I will be is confessing that you are not. God is in the present moment. He's right now. He's on this podcast. He's everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, you have to confess that I am. I am is in present tense. It's right now. Whatever you desire to be in your perspective, claim it now. Don't wait till tomorrow because tomorrow doesn't exist for nobody. But if you claim that you are now and you can get into the feeling of what you desire to be right now, you now send forth in the universe what you are. And what it has to do, it has to reflect it. Now, here's the big issue. When people do this, they uproot their own seed by looking for it tomorrow. No, be it in spirit, be it in energy every single day, because the expression you're giving off now, you're being it every day. So the world reflects what you are every single day.
Yeah.
Have to gain a greater perspective of yourself. Say, well, I'm not poor anymore. I'm wealthy. I am wealthy, and move in that energy. What does wealth feel like to you? What does success feel like to you? Doesn't matter what your mother say, what Jay-Z says. No matter what their success is, that's how they feel about themselves, and their world responds to that. So it's their inner perspective that they're receiving. You're only receiving you in other different forms. So that's just my thought on the perspective, because
Yeah,
I
man.
have a great perspective of me. Doesn't matter what people gonna have their own opinions, but I don't have to buy into their opinions. Once I buy into it, I invite that into my world now. I don't want that. So if it doesn't reflect who I am now, I kind of just brush it off. I only respond to things that remind me of how I speak to myself. So if I see you, Jay, like, yo, Chris, you're doing a great job, I respond to that. But if a guy comes along and says, hey, whatever, it just it bounces off.
Right. Yeah. And it's a big thing. You know, we were growing up, man. You know, I was told like, you know, you be careful who you associate with, man.
Yes.
And you know, we all look at it as like kind of a big cliche, right? You know, and peer pressure and all that stuff, but it's real. You know, so those things, if you associate yourself around those bad things, you let that enter your airspace, that that can affect your own perspective of yourself because you're letting those outside views and those outside opinions dictate who you are, which is not no. That can't happen, right? You know, like if you want to start up your own business, man, or you whatever it might be, you're gonna go ask somebody like, "Hey, what do you think about it?" No, man, you go start it, you go do it. You know, no matter you don't need validation for anybody else because at the end of the day, it's your business, right?
Right.
So it's just a matter of having that the mindset, just go and handle it, man. Just like do business, you know, go take care of it, attack it, execute, man. Have a plan, execute it, you know, and just have a positive mindset while you do it, man. You know, like having goals, you know, like start. It's a process, man. We have to trust the process. Life is a process. Things happen within a process. You know, it's patience. You have to be patient. You just have to take it day by day, just getting one step faster every single day. That's my belief on it, man. You can testify to that, dude. You know, it's one thing, you know, when you're just, if it's like a simple overnight thing, you're like, okay, well, maybe this will happen tomorrow. No, man, but you have to focus on today. How can I be better today than I was yesterday? You know, it's not, what does tomorrow hold? What does the next day hold? What does the weekend hold? No, focus on the day, focus on the moment.
Right. And that's really how I live. That's how you see me. Is every day is right now. Like I'm not thinking about every hour is different from the next. You know, like if I sit there and dwell on my problems and dwell on different things, I handle things as they come. It says in the word of God that we just handle today. Tomorrow has its own problems. So if I'm trying to handle tomorrow's problems, I ain't take care of today's problems, then you know, I'm just gonna overwhelm my mind with anxiety because I'm trying to deal with everything at once. No, I handle what's in front of me today and I give my best. And at the end of the day, I always go to bed feeling successful. This is the key. If you go to bed feeling successful, you preset your energy for tomorrow. When you go to bed feeling upset, feeling worried, feeling all these negative things, guess what? Tomorrow it's already laid out for you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
You know?
gonna produce that. It's gonna produce that bad energy, that those
Yes.
negative thoughts, those negative outbringings. That's just gonna it's gonna take into the next day because you're sleeping on that, and so you're
Mhm.
transferring the energy from the previous day to the next day. Except giving, like you said, giving your best, man, giving the best effort. Just playing sports, man. You know how this goes, man. As long if you're giving your best each and every day, you will improve. I mean, that's how it goes, and that's how it goes with anything in life, especially sports. But from playing football throughout my life, man, I've learned that as long as you're out there, man, you're going out there 100% every play, giving your best effort. Just putting the work in. You will be rewarded. You put in, you get out what you put in.
Absolutely. And then another thing is being accountable. So many people are afraid to take accountability because they want to seem
Yes.
like they made a mistake. I love mistakes. One of my favorite times growing up was practice. I love practice. Why? Because I could make all my mistakes there without it being anything like big going on. But when the lights came on, I want to make as minimal as mistakes as possible. But I'm not willing to take accountability if I did make them say, "Hey, listen, it was my bad. I should have did better." Too many people don't want to make mistakes. We live in this microwave world where everything has to look perfect. Your life has to look perfect. You have to look like you're happy all the time. Let's be realistic. We all go through changes. We grow through changes. I say that we grow through change. We don't go
Yep.
through anything. We grow through something. When we're going through a process of growing, we have to be patient with ourselves to grow through it. We're trying to rush through the process instead of embracing it and learning during the intervals of time. We all going through time and space right now. So it's no one person that's just going to make it from point A to point B in one day. It doesn't happen that way. And if it does, they're not going to have it long. So at the end of the day, you have to be willing to accept accountability for yourself. Know what you really want. A lot of people want something, but that's not really what they want. They just want it because that's what they think they want.
Right.
Get to know yourself. I'm encouraging people to get to know yourself. We do so much giving out in the world. We don't give nothing back to ourselves. What do we get back? We're drained, we're tired, we're frustrated, everything. So if we don't give something to ourselves, then how in the world can we be productive? It's going to be very challenging to be productive. We don't say, hey, listen, this is for me. I took the time out to, go to the gym. That's my time for me. I meditate. I get up every morning at 4:30. That's my time. Why? Because there's nothing to think about at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing but to focus my energy where I want my energy to go for the day. I preset my energy at night. I get up early. I feel my affirmations. I I express myself what I experience, and I always say, "Be great today. Today's a great day to be great." I'm driving to work. I say the same thing. Like I feel myself in it. Sometimes I get so loud in my car, I have to put the windows down because I'm just that excited. So when I get to work, I just let it all out. I just let it all flow out, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's huge. That's so important. It's just having that positive outlook, man. And just every day is an opportunity. I always say that, man. Every day is an opportunity. How are you going to be better today? What are you going to do to make this day great? Are you going to give your most maximum effort into everything today? And that's a question you have to ask yourself, man. I think the problem with our world today is, man, we want those quick results, like you said, man, microwave. We want those quick results. We don't want to take the time, put the effort in, put the work in, put the meditation in. We just want it's a simulation. We just want things fast and quick, but it's a process, man. We have to be patient. We have to trust the plan that God has in place for everybody because God has a plan for everybody. You might not know what that plan is right away, but if you continue to trust it and to continue to act out what he's preaching in his word and to be positive to everybody, including yourself, treating yourself right. How are you going to treat somebody else right if you don't treat yourself right? How the saying is, how are you going to love someone if you don't love yourself? So and you have to be able to do that in order to spread that positive energy around, and that's the big thing I think we struggle with today in society. And again, it goes back to the outside culture, man. We just have to learn how to shut that outside noise out.
Shut the world out. That, you got
I
to
mean,
shut the world out. And they say, how you shut the world out? Meditate. You shut it out. You shut up your five senses. Your five senses going to prove to you your limitations. You only could do certain things with your five senses. But when you go inside, you meditate, it becomes unlimited. You can really get to know yourself on a deeper, deeper level. And that's, to me, it says in the word of God, be still and know that when he's saying be still the body. Still it. Don't shut it down. Focus within. Because when you're being still, you get to hear his voice a lot more clearer. You get to understand yourself on a deeper level. And it takes practice. You have the discipline to really learn it. You can do wonders. Like, I learned so much about myself in this past year alone by just meditating. Just meditating. Understand what really makes me happy. What brings me joy into my life. I thought it was this. I thought it was that. And it was none of those things. So now that I know what it is, I get to dwell on that and live within it every single day. Every single day. My life isn't perfect. I don't want anybody that's listening to your show to think like, well, everything's perfect for this guy. He's not being realistic. He's going through challenges. Exactly. You're right. But here's the thing. You get what you focus on.
yeah,
You want to focus on the things that are not going right, or you're going to focus on the things that are going right. I just choose to put my focus on what goes right in my life. And I focus on those things, and I don't give my attention. Whatever you give your attention to is going to continue to manifest itself. That's a law. That's fact. You focus on problems, guess what? Problems going to show up. You focus on solutions, guess what? Solutions going to show up. There's problems, good and bad. Like I'm going to give you an example. If I'm looking at bad problems in my life, I'm going to get bad problems. But there are also good problems. So would you rather have bad problems like lack of money, or good problems like an overabundance of money? That's still a problem because you have an overflow of money that you don't even know what to do with it. I'd rather have that issue, an overflow of money, than a lack of it. Because
you're
now
right.
if I'm in tech, I go into survival mode. Once I go into survival mode, I'm thinking where my next dollar coming from. I'd rather think like, dag, I got so much money. Who I'm going to help today? What I'm going to do with this? So you can have either problem, but it's still going to be a problem. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude, absolutely, and you're absolutely right. It's just changing the perspective. Like putting the focus on what's good than what's bad. Because again, what you put all your energy and your effort towards, that's gonna manifest. Like if you're putting your energy towards good things will bounce out back to you. But if you put your energy towards bad things, the energy and the space around you will be negative. So it's just a matter of you have to distinguish between those things and know what's right, what's wrong, and how to just again lock in, focus, attack, and do what's important. Do what you have to do, to make yourself successful. And that's the thing that I think mistakes. You said earlier, man, that mistakes. We need mistakes. That makes it because we learn from them. You fail forward, like fail. A lot of people we don't want to fail. That's just natural. We don't like failing. Nobody likes to fail a test. Nobody likes to fail an exam or whatever it might be. You don't like to fail and do bad on things, but that's what fuels you. That makes you grow. You learn through those mistakes. You learn through those problems and those issues that you have, and that contributes to your growth and how you're overall going to achieve the goals that you have in life. It's important to fail forward. Learn from those bad times, those trials, those tribulations. What is God trying to show me here? So you got to sit down, manifest that into the good things. So that's the big thing I believe on that with mistakes.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. And when you make mistakes, it a door knocks. Too many people deny it. Like if you're going through a situation with finances, right? And that's your issue. There's an answer to that issue, but are you going to listen? That's the question. There's always an opportunity where you can probably increase your finance. It could be a job opportunity. It could be a business opportunity. It could be something that's pushing you in that direction. You know how many times I've been pushed into personal training and I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to do this. But you know what? It got to the point where God just totally shaped up my world. He just said, I need you to move here. Like, I gave you opportunities to do it yourself and you said no. So, but I really need you to move over here because I have these group of people need to be impacted by you being around. We all have a certain energy that impacts someone's lives. You don't have to be a loud person. It could be you. We all have a line of people that we need to impact. But if you're not answering that door, he will put you there. And you may not like how the situation goes currently, but it'll eventually blossom out the way you need to because he needs you to do certain things because it's his purpose that's going to be done. It's not our own. It's not our will that will be done. It's thy will that will be done. So once we get to that level, understand that everything we're doing in life is going to be for his will, then I think we'll live a more fulfilling life. But it all starts with how we see ourselves, how we want to develop ourselves. If we don't love ourselves right, then you know what? We're going to make it a lot more challenging for someone to come in and love us the right way.
Yep.
And I'm huge on that, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Great stuff right there, Chris. You know, and we appreciate you coming on the Pursuing Excellence podcast today, just giving your input here on the overall aspect of perspective and how important it is to look at things through a positive lens, you know. So I appreciate you coming in, giving your input with that. Thank you, Chris, again for coming on. We appreciate you, man. You always got the great energy, man. Always got that high positivity. So, Chris, yeah, we appreciate it, man. Always.
Absolutely. Thanks for inviting me, man. I'll come back anytime if you need, man. Just let me know.
Of course, man. Thank you. And you guys make sure you check us out here on YouTube. We're also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Again, this is Pursuing Excellence. I'm here with Christopher Howard, and I'm your host, Jane Gay. Thanks, guys, for listening. See you next time.